food, nigga.
There we go. Tasty beverage.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, that technicolor right between it's your boy Trey Proper.
And I am the inevitable Mad Titan Weekend Hurt.
And I am your superhero, Static Shock. Whoop, whoop.
And I'm your father who went out to go get cigarettes and milk a couple years ago and never came back.
They can't see it. They can't see it light up. Oh, I'm disappointed. Okay, I don't have my glasses on. That's why. I'm all right. I'm about to go back to my regular face, y'all. Just deal.
Okay, so as you can see, we're all in somewhat of costume variants of ourselves. I'm Fat Gum for my hero. I'm being lazy. I ain't feel like getting a costume. Anyway, welcome to Blerds and Whiskey Live. We got a great show lined up for you as always. And first things first. Oh yeah, happy Halloween, everybody. Gentlemen, what you drinking on?
Terramana and margarita mix.
How?
Can you drink that through the mask?
How?
You cut a hole in the mask, didn't you? Oh. You know, one visual I never thought I'd ever see was Thanos sipping, like through a straw.
Also, real quick, you know that a margarita is made with tequila, so you just made a regular margarita with Terramana.
Yeah.
Just
All right. Well, I am drinking gin and juice with gin. Gin and cranberry vodka. Gin and cranberry.
All right,
juice.
everybody, settle in. Let's just get ready for this story time.
And go.
Well, join me if you will, as I made a trek to the liquor store and I have vodka and ginger ale and some other shit. So there you go.
Which you didn't go to Narnia this time? What happened?
I'll be busy, man.
Okay. All right.
WWE swerve on that ass. You thought a story was coming and you got nothing. Ha!
This is what we get. Lowering our expectations. Okay. I went ahead and revisited that Merlin Co. whiskey. Hopefully they see this one day and they're like, hey, that guy actually enjoys our stuff. I've thoroughly been enjoying this tasty beverage. 90 proof Merlin Co. whiskey, $45 at the nearest liquor store near you. Yeah, sponsor us. Anyway, drinking that and ginger ale. So, Weekend Thanos?
Yes. Let's get it.
Weekend Thanos. Okay. Hit us with those church announcements.
As always, Blerds, make sure you like, share, subscribe on YouTube and IG. OTTV, go and watch prior episodes of Blerds and Whiskey and go and watch his content on his Roku channel, OTTV. Alrighty, so the reviews have come in about the Eternals, which is coming out this Friday, November 5th. And apparently, Rich just told us that it really wasn't that good.
No, I didn't say it really wasn't that good.
No. The comments on the movie is not coming.
I'll clarify for you. At this point, it's sitting at a 60%, or it might have gone up since last time I checked it, but it's at 60% on Rotten Tomatoes, which isn't really that good. So I mean, we'll see. I usually like the pre-reviews. I don't really invest that much in because it's all just critics and people who have skin in the game to try and get their name out there. So we'll see where it is on Friday. And plus, I really don't touch the critics. I'll see for myself when I go out and see it next week. So, I mean, it's not looking too good, but the memes have already started with people saying, "Oh, look at what happens when you give directors creative freedom. You get a terrible movie." I think people need to just kind of slow down a little bit and go check the movie out before you start with the whole the meme culture is annoying. It's annoying as hell to me because people who haven't even seen the movie are already making comments and already reacting to it, and they haven't even seen a glimpse. You've seen just small glimpses of the movie, so I say we give it a chance before we start with the judgment.
Okay. I'm still looking forward to it. I don't care what anybody says.
It's a Marvel product.
I'm one of those people that probably aren't looking forward to it. As I stated on the show, it just looks like a high budget Inhumans. But we'll give it a shot. I always do. I mean, hell, I watched I watched Green Lantern in the movie theaters. I watched Fantastic Four in the movie theaters. I can watch the Eternals.
Yeah. But in the meantime, why don't you toss a coin to your Witcher, because Witcher season 2 is coming out on Netflix. God, thoughts on this one?
I just watched the trailer. I'm excited. I'm looking forward to this one.
I'm
waiting
Yennefer.
to see what that too. Yes, Yennefer is. Yeah, she's on point. I've been waiting for, what is it? Has it been 2 years since we got Witcher 1?
Yeah, I think it's been about 2 years now.
Yeah, so looking forward to that too. I think that
it was right before the pandemic hit.
You're right. Yeah.
I remember, the reason why I remember that is because The Witcher was a big success, and the last convention that I went to prior to that was MagFest of 2020.
Okay.
Also,
asking Ristro what he thought
about what, The Witcher?
Yeah.
All right. Colin Kaepernick.
It's gonna be one of those shows.
And just put out a limited Netflix series on his life. It's basically talking about his childhood coming up. I saw the whole thing. It's about 6 episodes with 30 minutes long. It wasn't bad. I liked it. It was entertaining. Shows a lot about when you grow up with white parents and you're black, and they really don't know how to be black, obviously. Yeah, go and check it out.
I'm not watching that disrespectful nagger out there disrespecting the troops. I ain't watching it, all right? We're going to boycott Netflix, and we're not watching it because it's disrespectful to the troops.
Okay. Is it just about it's only about his childhood? It's not about anything that's going on?
It's a limited series, so I'm assuming that it's going to be like a 2-season series. It's basically just talking about from his childhood going up to his first is to him going to college and being accepted to go to Nevada, which is the school that he went to, and that's where it cuts off. But it also talks about like things that he went through as a kid, having white parents, but also being black and going through the struggles of everyday life. So I don't want to spoil it, so just go check it out.
All right.
Also, Guardians of the Galaxy, the video game, has been getting a lot of buzz lately. It looks pretty awesome. The storyline looks pretty damn good. Guys.
I've watched a small playthrough of it, the beginning of it, just to see if I wanted to buy it or not. It looks like something that I'm going to invest my money in. It does a pretty good job of blending the movie characters with the actual comic characters, because oftentimes there can be a little differentiation between them. They kind of change things a little bit. The game looks amazing. The dynamic of the team, like you can only play you control Peter Quill, but I mean it's essentially the team is with you the whole time, and it shows the real family dynamic of the Guardians. It seems like the relationship between Peter and Rocket is almost that of like they're two dads trying to co-parent, and there's a kind of like that power struggle that there was a little hint of in the second movie, and then they played up really well in Avengers Infinity War. So yeah, I think the game looks awesome. I'm definitely gonna go out and spend $70 for it.
Yeah. God damn.
Real quick before we move on, check into the comments on Facebook. Brandon C. Murphy, how many times did Rotten Tomatoes gave a low score on a classic movie? Facts. Johnny D. Jackson, okay, I had to put my glasses on. I had to put my glasses on because I was like, why is Herb Sully from Monsters Inc. with a finger? Chuck Clark, spoiler alert. Kaepernick grows up and makes Netflix series. Facts. I see it now. I was blind for a second. Let's see. Darren Smith, PlayStation prices. Yep, PlayStation price. Yep. Checking out YouTube. All right. Happy Halloween to the Haunter. What's up? I wish my father went and got milk. Wow. God damn. Thanos not on that purple stuff, says comic books. I saw Venom last night. It was straight garbage. The post credits was garbage too. Facts. Post credit scene was the only thing decent about that movie from The Haunter. I agree with that. Jamaica F, I know that's right, Herb. She's shouting you out. Gas price too high for Rick to go to Narnia. You'd be surprised where this family finds themselves. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm still playing Resident Evil Village, aka my vampire goddess. Death by Snoo Snoo. Hashtag Death by Snoo Snoo. All right.
Also, yeah. Brandon says I look like Shook Thanos. So, come to Blerds and Whiskey.
Once again, bringing the show to a screeching halt. This time with a shade of purple.
Yo, he just snapped the show. Where are we?
Lost. I have no idea.
Church announcement. So the Bud Lightyear prequel has just had the trailer come out. The memes are funny, but damn.
Cuz Lightyear.
Yeah. Cuz Lightyear.
He looks more Dominican though. That's okay.
Big Sean walked so Cuz Lightyear could walk.
What, nigga? No.
Take the mask off.
Hey, Rick.
For the love of God.
Hey, Rick. Go ahead. You were talking about, you mentioned something earlier, interesting theory in pre-show.
God damn.
We can't hear you, nigga. We couldn't hear you.
This nigga, Big Sean walked so Cuz Lightyear can walk. That's not how the saying goes, God damn it. It's if you're going to say it, Big Sean walked so that Cuz Lightyear can run. God damn it. Anyway, I had a whole serious topic that anyway, so this everybody started with the memes and all the jokes about this Buzz Lightyear movie, right? But nobody's noticing this is like it's a real character who's going to like Space Ranger school and like doing all is the trials and tribulations of that, right? So does anybody notice that like at the end of this could be some real dark shit, right? Because like it shows Buzz on a spaceship and like flying and going through space. So what if Buzz ends up going through like some type of wormhole or whatever, right? And instead of him going to like a different planet or something like that, he goes into a whole different reality or a different multiverse maybe. And instead of Buzz Lightyear and Space Rangers being like a real thing, he goes to a place where he becomes a toy. What about the implications that has on the rest of the toys? You know what I mean? Like they could have been like real people or real like a real cowboy.
So how the hell does Woody go through a portal? He's a cowboy.
Hey, listen. There are portals in caves, goddammit, in the Old West. I can add another. I can add something. Go ahead. And instead of being a sheriff, Woody becomes like some little preteen's piece of felt that he masturbates on or something weird.
Why?
Like, you know what kids do with toys? You got a teenager. Cut it out.
Not with his toys. Man, Optimus Prime, no.
Listen, you didn't pick Optimus been a little bit sticky to the floor before.
Hey, no, we're not gonna do that. We're not doing that. No.
But I'm just saying, like the implications of that, like that shit is kind of crazy, and nobody's thinking about it because everybody's too busy making Cuz Lightyear memes.
I got an implication for you. If that's the case, then wouldn't that make Andy some sort of a celestial being? Technically, Andy could be Mephisto this whole time, and he's been like, and he's over here just making people into toys in his own plaything. I'm just saying, or he could be the Beyonder. Hot Wheels is nothing more than Fast and Furious franchise, nothing more than Hot Wheels come to life.
I know it was coming. 14 minutes in, shit's already down the drain. Really? Man. Like, move on. What's next? God damn it! Just
church announcements.
Okay. All right. So, did you mention ROH?
No, that's gonna be that's what we're about to go to now. Let's go ahead and do that.
Yeah. So, for those of you not familiar, ROH Ring of Honor has announced that they are pretty much dissolving. They're shutting down and potentially releasing all of their roster. It's another wrestling company in the United States. It's been pretty notable. A lot of the more recent wrestlers have come from there onto the main stage of WWE and to a lesser extent TNA. Even as far back as when we had TNA. I'm sorry, I said TNA. And but they could not compete with the big boys, unfortunately. So they're trying to restructure. They're trying to shut down. They don't have the same backing. So, gentlemen, what do you think about that situation?
I'm gonna start. So essentially, ROH has been one of the few wrestling companies that has been actually acting responsible during this whole pandemic, because they don't have TV contracts, they don't have the big deals of all these companies. Essentially, they've been they make all their money off of house shows, and yeah, like they've had to shut down. They've released every wrestler from their contracts, and they're essentially looking to sell. They're looking to sell the company to try and get some funds back and come back better than ever. And like over the past 15 years, pretty much a lot. Now it's actually longer than that. I would say probably the past 20 years, a lot of the major stars in wrestling right now have gone through ROH or have come from ROH. So I mean, it's a pretty big deal for all who can say for the initiated. I'll say that. This is a big thing, and it could have some overwhelming implications down the line, because I mean, like their back catalog is just full of classic matches with all the names that you know right now. Like there's so many names and so many great matches. So I mean, this could have some deep-seated implications.
I mean, the thing about Ring of Honor is they're in this weird niche bubble of they're too big for underground but too small for mainstream. So they've always kind of held at that just above level of just having that talent or being a place known for having that talent that's going to be the next level. Some people end up going back down there and enjoying, kind of like what ECW was for a little bit. If Ring of Honor had TV time, they probably would have been bigger, but they liked where they were at and they were good and they made some decent money. Now, I hate to put not trying to make it light of it, but the thing is that the pandemic is essentially what drove them to be out of business. Being a nice guy essentially is what drove them to be out of business. Being applicable to these wrestlers, is kind of what put them out of business. So yes, on one hand, yes, that's great for humanity, but it's bad for their business because now they're pretty much bankrupt, or they're going to file. I don't know if they're going to file for bankruptcy, but like you said, I'm pretty sure they're just gearing up just to be sold.
So I got a question about that though. I thought that they were originally like the new FCW, like that. They have nothing for.
Nope, they have nothing.
Really?
No.
So
you might be thinking about Evolve, but yeah, Ring of Honor is its own separate company, and it survived a lot of scandal too. Because one of the original founders of Ring of Honor was like a partner of Paul Heyman during the ECW days, and he learned from that and then made his own thing. And then he had like a whole scandal, and then Ring of Honor recovered from that, and just having great matches in general, the indie style.
Okay.
And go ahead, Herb. What were you saying?
No, I was saying, and correct me if I'm wrong, Rick, on this one. Would you say it's the equivalent of NFL Europe, like it's the minor leagues, but of major company, or they just buy themselves in this situation? Because I look at it as like it's the springboard to get your name out there, to go ahead and get to flourish. And you, like you guys said, you get the big names like Nathaniel Bryan or Young Bucks or anything like that, and then they eventually just go on to better promotions. It's unfortunate that they are going out of business, considering that the only time that they are on TV, which is the only time I actually get to see it, was when I was on night shift, and it was like at 2:00 in the morning, or on Channel 7 or something like that. So
I would say it's more like AAA baseball. It's been more like AAA baseball, and it's it's pretty much been a springboard for a lot of people to kind of get out there, and Triple H will watch him because he's the only one that acknowledges people or competition, and he would kind of put the bug in Vince's ear to go after this person or bring them to NXT. It's been a really good platform, and it really is very, very unfortunate. Some people are talking about maybe that WWE will be gearing up to buy it because they have because of the product that they put out for the past few years and things of that nature. I don't think that makes much sense for WWE to buy them, because in all honesty, all the people who have come from ROH to WWE have pretty much transitioned out of the company or transitioning out of the company. the company that would actually make the most sense to buy ROH and everything that comes with it would absolutely be AEW, because AEW needs to make itself presentable to a streaming service to be able to buy their content in their back catalog and to be kind of get a streaming service. And that would be the shot across the bow, as it were, to kind of introduce that power struggle that everybody perceives is happening right now. If they get a streaming service and they have ROH's back catalog, then that makes them comparable. Then they really do become competition to WWE and that ongoing machine that they have. So I think that will be the perfect thing right there, because honestly, all of the faces of AEW right now are in ROH's back catalog. And everybody forgets that the pay-per-view that started AEW, the All In pay-per-view, was an ROH production. Yep. So that's what makes it. AEW literally was born in ROH.
Thanks. Okay. Checking the comments out again. Sorry, my bad.
It's just
scrolling. All I can say is, yeah, I see that. Rita said, "I'm tired of y'all." So now Toy Story is in the Marvel universe. No, it's not. No. I'm tired of y'all. Bet Andy has some knockoff Transformers and some model cars in his room. All I can say is Jay Lethal is all that. Would Jay Lethal? That would be awesome.
Buzz Lightyear is Stark Tech confirmed.
God, CM Punk versus Jay Lethal. I would watch that. It's just ROH is all elite. That would be awesome. That's Jamaica F on YouTube. That's why he thought he was the real Buzz Lightyear in the first movie. God, do not make sense of this man's craziness.
What am I trying to?
That all makes sense, man. I'm telling you.
Listen to me right now.
Hold on.
My shit always works. My shit always works sometimes.
Don't feed into his bullshit. Don't feed into that. Don't fuel this. No, because somebody down the line will see this, and then when we're in our 50s, they're gonna make this shit happen. Don't make it a real thing. Don't speak it into existence.
In our 50s, it's happening right now.
It's not gonna happen.
It's gonna be like 10 years for me.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Yeah, you're right.
I ain't gonna be too long.
14 for me. Shit. Don't make me realize my own mortality. But speaking of youthful thoughts. All right. Since it is the season, and some people are already putting up their Christmas trees, I'm throwing shade, and Rita too. So speaking of youthful thoughts, since we're in the season of scary and spooky shit for today, gentlemen, let's talk about some of our favorite moments in our childhood as far as scary movies. Like
be specific.
yes, scary movies, slasher movies, like stuff that you've seen that spoke to your heart. Who would like to go first?
Okay, I'll go first.
Go for it, Herb.
All right, so let's take a trip down to 1990 when I was young, 5 years old, thinking of good things in the world. And then all of a sudden, Nightmare on Elm Street comes out. Yeah, couldn't sleep for fucking 3 weeks because every single time I tried to go to bed, I see Freddy Krueger with those fucking slasher hands. And my cousin just thought it was a real funny thing for a 5-year-old to go ahead and watch Nightmare on Elm Street. And at the time, he's 10 years older than me, so he's watching me all the time. Yeah, Herb, just sit down and watch this. No, this is scaring me. Where to be found. So, yeah, my dad, he's at work. Guys, I was fucking traumatized. I didn't watch Freddy again until I seen Freddy versus Jason. And that was 15 years later? So, yeah, that fucked me up.
So were you scared during Freddy versus Jason?
Hell yes.
Really?
Yes.
That shit was a comedy to me.
At 5 years old, I was scared.
I will never understand how Freddy knew martial arts. What was he training in hell?
Freddy, hold on.
He was moving like Lady Deathstrike from X-Men 2.
Freddy versus Jason came out in 2003.
That's what I was about to say. Freddy versus Jason.
10, 15 years later.
And you were still scared.
I was 5 years old.
What, nigga? What? Wait a minute.
A plus B equals toast. How this? I'm losing some numbers here.
Your math is blowing my mind.
No, Freddie. But here's the thing. I'm seeing that the Hunter said this, and Freddie and Jason was a joke. It was funny as hell to me. So
let's go back to this math. Like,
I said it was 5 years old in 1990. I said
so 15 years past 5. You were 20.
10. Anyway, moving on. Cam, what was your childhood memory?
I don't know. When I was a kid about 10, 15 years ago, back in those days, like my I was one of those kids who had stolen cable. So, and also had parents. Well, my dad was there, definitely technically savvy, but my mom was not technically savvy. So she didn't understand how VCRs worked. Yes, at VCRs. So I'm over here like watching something on TV while I got like I disconnected the cable in the back and disconnected it directly to the from the TV directly to the cable from the cable box to the VCR, and I'm actually recording something off the cable box so that I could watch later. Mom is none the wiser. It's late nights. I'm popping in the VHS cassette tape and I'm watching like Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street, like all the good classic horror films, Maximum Overdrive, like all the Stephen King stuff. But the one movie that always somehow scared me, like I'm watching like all these horror films and gore fest, is not even bothering me at all. I'm not even flinching, but I will never understand. There was a movie, Pee-wee's Big Adventure or Big House, or Big Event, one of the Big Adventures. There was a story where he Pee-wee Herman. Yep, there was a story where he got picked up by a trucker, and the trucker was giving him the story of Large Marge. And something about that claymation, when the guy turned around, he said, he looked just like this. And his face turned into this weird claymation. Yeah. I don't know why. Maybe because I wasn't expecting it, but that scared the hell out of me as a kid. I'm like, oh, it's Pee-wee Herman. Oh my God, what is going on TV? Yeah. Don't ask me why. There was no logic to it. Maybe because, like I said, it was unexpected. But yeah, that scene definitely like, whoa, oh man, that's my heart. That's what's like to be scared. Oh, okay. I can't. Right. Hey, don't judge me.
So my most horrifying horror movie experience is, let me set this up for you, right? So we journey to this island, right, run by a bunch of weird white people, right, and they're all dressed in like oldish clothing, not from like the 1800s, but let's say early 1900s frontierish, right? There seems to be some type of ceremony going on, and a bunch of women in masks are walking. And then there's this one guy in a bear costume, and he comes up and he punches this lady in the face. Well, then he proceeds to get jumped by a bunch of the women, and they start torturing him, so to speak. And at one point, they put this mesh type of hat on him, and he's sitting there bound up in a straitjacket, and they start pouring bees in his head, and he starts screaming, "No, not the bees! Not the bees! They're in my eyes! They're in my eyes!" And so like all of these weird white women, and he's shaking, and then they put him in a big wooden effigy. I believe it's called the Wicker Man. And then they burn him alive. And I was just terrified at just white women just pouring bees on people, and crazy white guys who are essentially eunuchs torturing Nicolas Cage and then burning him alive. So that was pretty terrifying to me. Ooh, scary.
That movie came out in 2006.
Exactly. According to her, I was only 10 years old when that came out, and I was terrified. I mean, a 10-year-old. Listen, I'm 38 now. In 2003, I was 5. Excuse me. You had your time. In 2003, I was only 7.5 years old, and 7.5-year-old me seeing Nicolas Cage scream about bees was just terrifying. All right,
just YouTube that one clip so you see what the hell he's talking about. If you've never seen The Wicker Man, Nicolas Cage, he is a hilarious actor. He was supposed to be seriously, he was acting, but it's just fucking classic.
Oh no, not the bees, not the bees.
shout out Snag and Flicks, Snag and Flick podcast. I do that on Monday nights, but we talk about a lot of horror stuff because Drew won't shut up about horror stuff. But I don't watch a lot of. You said what?
That's because he doesn't shut up in general.
Oh shit! Yeah. Anyway, but yeah, I don't do horror. I don't do a lot of horror stuff, but I have seen some. And the most scariest thing to me, which really set me back, was Tales from the Hood. And Tales from the Hood, one particular scene, I got made it through the entire movie, from the little puppets eating the racists alive to the monster who was played by, I forgot his name, but when the boy started folding the paper and breaking his arm, that stuff was creepy to me. David Allen Greer, yeah. That stuff was creepy to me, but it never really set me off until the end of the movie, where rest in peace, I forgot his name. Yes. He was directing them through the home, telling them different stories about what was going on. And they get into the basement and they're trying to rob this funeral home. And he's like, "Oh, y'all want the shit? I'm gonna give you the shit. Welcome to hell, niggas." And he transforms into the devil. Piss myself damn near. That shit, like this transit, his tongue started forking out like a snake, the horns grew out of his head, and the guys realized they're in hell. That was the scariest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Clarence Williams III giving another one of his creepy ass performances. R.I.P.
He's the Black John Waters, not John Waters. Who's the guy who did the voiceover for Thriller, the white guy, Vincent Price. He's the Black Vincent Price.
Listen, if Clarence, so the unfortunate part about that is Clarence Williams III made such an impression in that movie that he's now the Black people's representation of the devil. And I defy you to find anybody who wants it. But I tell you that the opposite of that is how white people are terrified of Bruce Almighty because Morgan Freeman is God.
Yeah.
Wow.
So what's interesting though? The way, like I said, like we were talking about like growing up and stuff like that. Anyone else deal with like parents' hypocrisy when it came to like horror films or certain movies in general? Like my I will watch my dad will watch horror movies with me and like not flinch or not say anything that's like wrong, but like heaven forbid, like I see like Van Damme movie and there's like a nipple because he's contractually obligated to have like a nipple in the 90s. But yeah, like my dad was just weird like that, like decapitation, that's fine. He's young, he'll get over it. He knows it's fake, but titties are real. I don't know. Maybe that was his logic.
No, perfect example. Here's a movie for everybody. The original Total Recall. You're watching people get blown. You're watching people get blown to shit. I'm talking about get grinded up in my machine. Yeah, all of that shit. 3 titties pop up. You better close your goddamn eyes. Close your eyes right now. Close your eyes right now. Look,
we all went through it.
All the violence in the world. Don't you look at them goddamn titties. You understand me? What?
I literally had a 3-finger hand just disfigured and shit. And I'm traumatized by that shit. But
there was a head with a stomach coming out of his stomach. The man had a prosthetic like Muppet on his stomach. Yeah. But my mom is like, no, but them 3 titties, you got to turn your head, boy.
Exactly. Check out the comments on YouTube. No, he died. He died. That was the end of the movie. I'm sorry. Let me go scroll back up. Let's see. The Wicker Man. I laughed. The Haunter. I laughed at that movie. Did he come back to life? Nick Cage. Haunter.
Yes,
my grandmother put it on TV.
Ride to Hell or Hell Ride or something like that. Ride Hard.
There was a sequel.
No. I'm just connecting Nicolas Cage's universe
movies. Oh, and then he becomes a ghostwriter in the end of it. Okay, greatness.
That was actually about to be my next point because you actually can do that. You can connect Nicolas Cage's movies. That's gonna be we're gonna move on. We're gonna pause from Fast and Furious for a while, guys. We're gonna start collecting Nicolas Cage's universe because at some point he frees himself from hell and becomes Superman and fights the giant spider.
That didn't happen. That doesn't count. They never released it. Let's see. Did anyone else see the new Tales from the Hood? I didn't see the new Tales from the Hood.
I think it was like Snoop Dogg's Hood Hop of Horror or something like that. It was.
I ain't watched that.
No, there was actually a second part. It was actually a second one. I think. What's the dude? They played Liar on what's the name of that? Gargoyles. What's the guy's name?
Keith David.
He did the second one. So
Of course, off-camera guy will react to saying that's Spawn, but we'll move on.
Yeah, he's literally yelling Spawn in our ears right now. He's literally yelling. Checking the comments on Facebook. As a kid back in South Georgia, my grandmother's TV only had 2 movies that came on at bedtime: Children of the Corn and It. Every time he came to visit without fail. Herb over here telling Hulk Hogan level tall tales. Wow.
This is what
So
Greg said. That's what Greg said. Read what Greg said.
You read what Greg said.
Herb math is worse than Steiner math.
No, but you know the worst part about Steiner math is from a friend of mine who was actually a mathematician. It makes sense. Steiner's calculations was correct.
So that's the thing about him.
Like he's actually a genius. He's a math level genius. He's
a brilliant businessman. Yes, like he had. So here's the thing: Scott Steiner has a bunch of franchise restaurants throughout Georgia, and he's killing it. That's why it's the craziest shit in the world. You think he's a psychopath, but in actuality, the man might be one of the most brilliant minds of this century. I can't believe I just said that shit in relation to Scott Steiner.
Okay. I got to do some research. Yeah, because
his equations during that math promo was correct. It was on point. And like you said, he's got a business degree. He's got several businesses. So between math and business, he's not hurting for cash.
So now here's the thing about we're completely off the rails, but I just got to expand on this topic. So here's the thing about that. Everybody's looking at it and you're just like, man, this guy seems really stupid. No, we're the stupid ones because he was actually using real math and it was actually feasible math. So it's not him, it's us. We're the problem.
Yeah.
Is there a video that shows the break? No, I'm not going down this rabbit hole.
The breakdown is in the numbers. Anyway, let's go ahead. Speaking of math, fractions and cutting things in half, let's go ahead and run our character of the week so we can go ahead and get this nice little break going so I can refresh my drink. Character of the week. So, happy Halloween, everybody. Today's Character Week segment is dedicated to one of my favorite subgenres of horror, the slasher flick, which is also indicative of today's holiday because 1978, John Carpenter's Halloween was one of the very first slasher flicks. Now, if you look throughout cinematic history, you'll see that there were footprints laid the foundation for slasher flicks as we know nowadays. 1923, the horror film called The Bat, and 1940s, there was one called The Leopard Man. They pretty much paved way for the masked antagonist to murder everybody. And of course, we gotta give a shout out to the godmother of slasher flicks, Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho. Yeah, that infamous scene. And then you have the Italian Giallo films, which was pretty much like the creative murder of franchise. So all this is actually what paved the way for John Carpenter to take all these aspects of it. So if you think about what slasher flicks are, it's a combination of all these things. You got the murder mystery element, you have the survival horror element, you have the creative deaths of the Giallo films element, you have the mask antagonist element, and of course mix all that with the punk rock grindhouse filmmaking style, low budget. You got yourself a nice genre of slasher flicks, which is where John Carpenter's Halloween kicked in the door. Then you have subsequent, I won't say a carbon copy of it, but then you have Friday the 13th, which on the surface does look like it's a copy of Halloween, but in reality, both these films helped solidify what became a franchise staple amongst slasher flicks, The Rules. The surprisingly conservative nature of slasher flicks, despite all the gore, like the purity over promiscuity. Sex equals death. Drugs and fun and teen inhibitions also equal death. Pranksters cry wolf or lie too many times, you find yourself, no one believes you when you actually are dying. Such rules became a staple, like I said, among slasher flicks. Between like the 80s and say 80, 83, 84, there started becoming a decline in the interest in slasher flicks. You know, been there, done that, we've seen it all. Thanks to Wes Craven, Nightmare on Elm Street, This now adds a supernatural element to the slasher flicks. You got the creative deaths. Can't get more creative than how Freddy Krueger killed most of his characters. Speaking of Freddy Krueger, by all counts, is a horrible, horrible individual. He murders children. They put him on lunchboxes. Lunchboxes. Like I said, because of Freddy Krueger and the supernatural element in the Quippy, you started adding more of the element of the antagonist being the star of the show. Freddy Krueger, and you had Child's Play with Chucky, the Leprechaun from The Leprechaun. I will never, ever forgive you for Leprechaun in the Hood. Speaking of Hood, you also had Candyman, which added another blaxploitation element to the horror slasher flicks. So as you're starting to notice, there's ebb and flows with the slasher flicks franchise. By the 90s, mid-90s, there started to be a decline in slasher flicks. Well, Wes Craven once again saves the franchise with Scream, which is ultimately a parody of the rules and the regulations of most of the subsets of the slasher flicks. That pretty much turns most of the rules on the head, especially with the fact that, you know, Sid wasn't a virgin and she still survived. She did live up to the final girl trope, which is like ultimately the protagonist being female and surviving despite all the odds and trauma bonding. So along with the Scream franchise, you also have several copycats that followed along with it. I Know What You Did Last Summer, It Follows, Jennifer's Body, Cabin in the Woods, Final Destination. All these films that followed the formula of like that teen slasher revamp that happened because of Scream. Like I said, when it started becoming a decline, they used another element that added to the slasher flicks. Torture porn. Saw, Cube, you know, things like that. So all in all, the heyday of slashers was in the 80s, but its continuation and its legacy lasts to this day. So, shouts out to you. Cheers to the slasher flicks. Now. Yo, who's that sound? I'll be right back. Like, share, subscribe.
Yeah. He did. He was molested.
That's the reason why I'm fucking terrified that motherfucker from when I was 5.
How else would you justify them burning him alive? He was out there touching kids and then killing.
I didn't know he was touching the kid. I didn't know that. I was a kid when I watched the movie.
And they put this dude on lunchboxes, like a franchise. Cereals.
I want to be fair. I can't wait to play with Freddy in Mortal Kombat. Nigga, stop.
Wow. But I don't think did they implicitly say that he touched the kids? I thought he killed the kids.
Yeah, no, all of it.
Did everything.
He was a child molester, a janitor, and a murderer, and that's why the parents band together and burned him alive. I think we're back.
Good on you.
I think we're back on the air, guys.
God damn, off camera.
Hey, cool. So,
alrighty,
follow up, y'all. Hashtag Gamism on YouTube channel. Follow along. Shut up. I'm not talking to you, Google. I upload every Monday, 9 p.m. Shouts out to me.
Oh, what the shit? Yo, Rita just said on there, so plot twist. I tried to watch Children of the Corn on VHS. I'm traumatized, and midway through the movie, it was Dick in the camera. Dick saved me from PSD.
Wait, what?
Who is she watching? Children of the Corn?
I think I picked up the wrong Children of the Corn VHS from Blockbuster.
Children of the Porn. Okay, Children of the Corn.
Yo, did she rent the movie from behind the red curtain? Like, right.
You was in the wrong part of the store right there.
Right.
Look, I had a dream I was 5 last week and I was stuck filming Western movie with Alec Baldwin.
Oh shit.
I'm sorry, it's not funny, but it's funny. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm over here trying to figure out how Rita's okay with Children of the Corn, but she still hates Mr. Rogers.
Oh wow. Callback. Unicorn panties. We still have not been selling. We need to make that merchandise.
Well, sure, he might.
Here's the merchandise.
Wait a minute.
Years since that story, since she sold that story on here.
Wait a minute.
It's been 1 year to this day.
Read
the
Facebook comments. She said it was my uncle's tape. Stay out of here. Listen, everybody knows. That's why you don't mess with your uncle's video collection. Everybody knows that. You don't touch your uncle's videos. Leave that shoebox. Don't get the tape out of the shoeboxes. Leave them be.
She should have tried to figure out, like, I thought you eat corn. Why is she putting it there?
He's the reason I don't like Mr. Rogers. Wait a minute.
All right. Subject change. We're not going there. Just like that movie, we took a wrong turn.
Johnny the check. She picked up the wrong it. Happy Halloween, everybody. Oh, Jesus.
That'd be a nice little subtopic. Porn versions of horror films. I saw what you did last summer.
Yo,
cream.
A condom that's colored like a piece of candy corn.
Oh no, that sounds very archaically.
She picked up what dreams may come.
Chill out.
Hey, Johnita, stop.
Instead of child's play, it's foreplay.
Jeepers Creepers?
Yeah, same thing. Jeepers Creepers. The voyeurism.
All right. Predator? No, that's not gonna work.
No, wait a minute.
It's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. Strike that one for the record. Nope, never mind. Forget I said anything.
I edit that out.
Wow.
Lake Placid.
Wow, she said sex toy. God damn.
Sex toy store. That's not even horror. All right. Okay. So, speaking of horror, because we are
running through it.
God damn it.
Sorry.
Wishmaster.
Thank you, Fabulosity. Pineapples.
Ew.
Speaking of horror movies and horror in general, because of the holiday,
Masters of the Booty Burst. All right,
that was some low hanging fruit, my friends.
Sorry. Sorry.
Are you done?
I'm done.
Texas.
I'm done. That was it.
Texas Booty Massacre. I mean, his name is Buzz. Facts. Just get him all out the system. Go on. Let's go. Let him go.
I got no more. Yeah, let's keep it going.
All right. So speaking of horror and Halloween related, what the hell did he say?
Nothing.
Keep going.
Let's have a discussion based on some of our favorite characters and who we think would transition well into the horror genre. For example, Marvel and DC both had zombie-related comics released. Basically, Marvel Zombies, and my favorite of the two, Deceased from DC, where basically all their heroes and all their villains were exposed to a form of zombie outbreak, and it kind of had a horror element to it. Like Superman was pretty much immune up until a point, and he became a freaking zombie. So imagine Superman as a zombie. That shit was just crazy. Wonder Woman is a zombie. Batman got murdered in the first issue.
And it was all our points about. But he had. Did he have not prep time? I'm pretty sure he had prep time.
I'm pretty sure he did not have prep time.
That's the way
it happened. Yeah. So, but anyway, gentlemen, those are two examples. Let's go around the horn and tell everybody what you think would be a good character to see as a horror film.
I got one. Wonder Woman. The reason why I say Wonder Woman, she sees every man as Steve Trevor, but every guy still is conscious to the fact that they're still their self. And because she doesn't get what she wants, she does exactly what she did to that guy in his apartment the whole entire weekend.
Most guys would not complain about that, so I don't see the horror aspect. But
it's Death by Snooster.
But where's the horror?
The horror part is just the fact that, I mean, that, hey.
Captain America went to boner. Get out. Just leave. Keep going. I'm sorry. Captain America. Oh my God.
I thought we were doing horror.
We're supposed to be doing horror.
So for me, honestly, I think more DC characters would be more akin to horror films because they dealt with more cult stuff than say a lot of Marvel characters. Like Marvel characters, don't have they have demons, but they don't really have like occult characters that like deal with actual scary stuff per se. In my opinion, like I feel like look at most of Vertigo on DC imprint, or everyone, what I'm saying, like they deal with more supernatural and like they said of that lifestyle. So I can see more creepier, scarier horror movies coming from DC than I would from Marvel.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. I think that the horror aspects of Marvel will more so come from the celestial things. So like the Annihilation Wave, granted, that would probably be more like Super Troopers if I think about it. But basically giant bugs coming to wipe out the universe. That's one form that could happen. Technically, Thanos snapping his finger and murdering half the universe. That'd be kind of scary to see how things happen. Planes with pilots crashing down in the sky. It'd be more disaster horror, I guess.
Okay, I see your snap and I raise you the anti-life equation.
Yeah, well, I kind of already called that one when I said deceased.
But I mean, deceased wasn't an anti-life equation. Deceased was more like deceased was anti-life. Okay. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Like think of like 80% of what Constantine Hellblazer dealt with and put that in a horror film. That is pretty much a horror film right there. Just like the actual Constantine. I love the Keanu Reeves version. I ain't gonna lie, but I mean, imagine like an actual like horror
John
film
Constantine.
element. Yeah.
The chain smoking, sarcastic Brit dude. Yes, that would be great. But if we go the slasher route, for me, it's Victor Zsasz from DC. Victor Zsasz, the psychopathic killer, who, if you've ever watched Gotham, the guy who keeps the track number of his kills as 5 tally marks on his body, and he's literally covered in them from head to toe. That would be kind of scary, seeing him stalk people and everything. And of course, Batman shows it in and stops him, but
Batman just locks him up. I'm gonna lock him up. I'm not gonna kill him. Yo, he's killed somebody. I'm gonna lock him up. Okay. I'm gonna adhere to my not killing code even if it kills you.
I have 2 characters for this topic actually that could be pretty good horror characters. Number one is these 2 are kind of like neck and neck with me, and they're from the DC universe. Ra's al Ghul and Dr. Hugo Strange, right? The reason why I say Hugo Strange is essentially he's a professor, he's a psychologist. There's nothing scarier than the human mind, and him delving deep into these human minds and some of the most warped minds around, because he was a doctor at Arkham Asylum. So he's delved into Victor Zsasz. He's gone into the Joker's mind, and I'm pretty sure he's come up with some pretty terrifying things. The reason why I say Ra's al Ghul, because Ra's al Ghul getting what the fuck? Getting reincarnated as getting reincarnated over and over again and being brought back from the brink of death. Like that, I'm pretty sure that has some pretty good horror elements to it. Like I'm pretty sure somebody like James Wan, who is a brilliant director, can make that a phenomenal horror movie. So the elements to that are pretty damn good. So yeah, those are my 1A, and my 1B would be Jada Pinkett, because she's just hell bent on railroading her whole marriage and destroying everything that she comes into contact with. So those are.
I have a theory about that, but we're not going to delve into it.
No, we're going to do it because we talked about this. We said we want to talk about it. Now we're going to talk about it.
All right, I have a theory that there's some sort of like Will Smith, as rich as he is, there's some prenup stuff involved, and so if he files for a divorce, Jada Pinkett's gonna get half. So I think he's literally keeping his marriage so he can keep his assets. So he keeps throwing stuff at him. He's like, yes, all right. I have a big house. I can go all the way over here.
So she's trying to pull a George Costanza and trying to get fired as opposed to quitting.
Correct.
Yes.
That's my theory. That is actually my theory. I think she's doing all this stuff and she's looking at him like, touche. Hey, but you know what though? I still got movies.
I mean, honestly, what has Jada done? What has she done that's of note that makes her, like, if they did separate, where would she go? Like, I mean, she'd probably get the house and everything, but what would she do after that?
Wherever Tupac's mother is.
Oh wow.
August Alsina.
I don't know about August. She's probably not gonna go there because he spilled the beans. He was the reason the story broke in the first place. It wasn't like she advertises to everybody else.
Maybe she's gonna try to catch a vibe with her daughter.
I mean, she's done Will Smith. Yeah, I mean, it's stupid for somebody. I understand you in the public eye, and you know you become you. The microscope is put on you in your life when you become a celebrity. But you don't need to divulge your information freely like that. Most celebrities don't tell their personal shit. They just keep it to themselves. For whatever reason, she keeps putting herself in a situation where she wants to have things exploited. Like, just shut the fuck up. Don't say anything.
It seems like she's really just trying to get him to end the relationship. That's what it seems like. She's creating mountains out of nothing, and she's just trying to destroy everything that they have kind of built together. And that's just what it seems like to me. So, but again, this is a topic that's kind of like off our brand. I believe that's for another show. So let's get back into the slasher movie kind of genre.
Oh, we're gonna talk about it. I saw a couple of comments out there.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna read come on YouTube. Wilbert Robinson. So Diana just goes from guy to guy, locking them in with her for a week. Wilbert Robinson says, that sounds like Deanna does Dallas. Or Detroit, I'm sorry. But like Debbie does Dallas. My bad, I read that wrong. And Sabretooth from Charles Van Tassel says, Sabretooth will make a good slasher. Yes, he would. You leave Wolverine out of the mix for a while, and that would be it. That would be awesome.
The Liv Schreiber version?
That would be more maniacal.
Yeah.
That would be more maniacal. If we did the classic like 90s cartoon Sabretooth, he could be a monster. He could be a pursuant, mindless monster that's in a constant berserker rage for whatever reason. And he's unstoppable. And every time you try to kill him, he heals. So
just what he did to Silver Fox in the comics on Wolverine's birthday alone. Does everybody remember?
Happy birthday, bub.
Yeah, exactly. So that's enough of a premise for a movie itself.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I like the maniacal one where he's like just stalks them and he's like more intelligent than you think he is. I think that he should be. I feel like if there was a sequel or franchise out of it, they should be like he starts de-evolving into like the Savage. Mm-hmm. By the time he gets to part 6, he's just drooling and slobbering and slashing.
Oh wow, yeah, and then Wolverine comes and saves everybody in the end. I think that would be interesting.
So Chuck raises a good point on that. He was like, they did that with Sabretooth and a What If with Jubilee. Now,
I never read that one.
Speaking of Jubilation Lee, you know how they did in New Mutants, where the mutants' powers all came out when they were younger in some type of horrific situation. Like I believe it was Sunspot. He burned his girlfriend alive because his powers manifested where they were in the pool making out.
Wait, what? Turned the pool into a lava.
Yeah, he turned the pool into lava. Yeah, you gotta watch New Mutants. Like New Mutants is not a great movie at all. But
New Mutants was Marvel's attempt or Fox's attempt, I should say, to make a horror film.
It wasn't a great movie, but there are some interesting angles that if you're somebody like us, you can go with. But like, so imagine if they had Jubilee as one of the New Mutants in there, and her powers manifested when she was given an HJ in the back of the school bus. Imagine if Jubilee is just in the back of the bus and the boy is just like, hey, why don't you just touch it a little bit? And then her powers manifest and she just, you know what I mean? It's just, who's got Roman candles in the back of my bus?
So imagine if that was actually like how, like, what if Rogue this whole time has been telling people like, yeah, I just kissed him, but what if that was what happened when Rogue's powers manifested? She was doing an H-Day with old Cody, and all of a sudden he drains the life out of him from there.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
There is something fundamentally wrong with the both of you. And I don't get it. Why?
Wait. Imagine Shadow Cat with her powers manifest the same way, and her hand just goes like right through it. Like
hold on, they go. Her hand goes right through it, but then it just stops in the beehole,
and it's a solidified.
It's like, oh no.
All right.
Oh, shit.
It's been fun. Halloween. I hope you guys are out there being safe.
What's that on your table? The blue shit.
Oh, it's my beer struggle.
Ah.
So what do you do with that beer struggle there, Mr. Proper?
This is your beer struggle oil. I got Odin's Virtue.
Cool.
It's got an oud in it.
Oud.
Add a little bit to your palm. Spread it around and massage it into your beard. Makes it nice and moist.
Man, that looks nice. Where can I get one of those things?
You can actually pick this up from blerdsandwhiskey.com. And if you go to our partners page, you can get yourself some beer struggle. It's great for all your follicles, making them nice and good and smooth and smell good. Use the promo code BLERDS1, you get 15% off your purchase. And that way, you can smell as good as I do. But yeah, go and check them out. They got a variety of different products there. You got your beard oils, your beard bombs, your heated combs, your wooden combs, your beard brushes, and your beard waxes. So check them out. Tell them Blerds and Whiskey sent you.
Johnita said, or what if she had her man travel down south, and while he's down there, she grabbed his head to climax and blammo. So essentially, we're saying that Jubilee's powers come out of every orifice.
No. A hand, back of the head. To guide.
So, okay, fuck it. Let's go down this rabbit hole. Can Gambit charge anything?
Yeah.
Like
his kinetic.
Imagine he's at a strip club. He's having a little bit. This having a little bit too much fun. And the tassels.
It's kinetic energy. It's kinetic energy.
Yeah, it's kinetic energy. So he's at a strip club and he's tipping the dancer and he touches the tassels.
I'm saying he's making it rain and dollar bills.
Oh, he's making it rain?
He's like exploding. All right, y'all.
Oh, you want some change, do you?
All right, y'all. Up to it.
As always, guys, like to subscribe on all social media platforms. And as always, up to it, down to it. Fuck those who don't do it. We do it because we used to it. Drink motherfucker. Drink.
Yeah, it's something wrong with y'all. It's seriously something wrong with
y'all. I had the power of electricity in my pants.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and that technicolor rainbow in between, it's your boy Trey Proper.
It's your boy Big Herb.
And thank you for watching Blerds and Whiskey.
Be sure to like, share, subscribe on all social media platforms.
And check us out on blerdsandwhiskey.com.
Be sure to get that merch.
And come take this shot.